Welcome back everyone to Let's Play Supreme Ruler Ultimate, episode number 26 or 27 or somewhere up in the high 20s. So this series is also going pretty long. I think that the only way to play Supreme Ruler is if you're in it for the long haul. Maybe in the World War II starts you can get away with something happening a little bit quicker, but this is like one of those grand strategy games. I would say it is a grand strategy game. You're taking your time, and especially if you're trying to play in somewhat of a historical, or not even historical, but realistic manner, it's going to take a long time to get things going. So anyways, what I want to start off this episode doing is deploying military. The military of the United States is going to begin mobilizing for a potential conflict in Asia. This is a little bit weird to be doing, kind of like again, but basically this is a follow-up, a second wave of activation is happening, and a lot of these easy 8s, which although we're looking at 1956 now, it's very understandable that a lot of these would not be deployed or even in active duty anymore. A lot of them will probably be scrapped. Let's go to this guy. Can I get you? Where are you? Can I get you not to deploy? Probably not. I think this one is going to deploy. We'll unpause for a moment, and then I'm just going to send him right back to... You know what? I'm going to actually just let him get sent over there, because I don't really want him defending against Canada. We have no reason to defend against Canada, so just come on over here to San Francisco. I'll probably send you somewhere else. If I send you back to the reserves, which may be the case, at least I'm not going to send you back to reserves in the same spot. That's one of the things I generally like to do, is actually set up reserves at several key points. The reserves in the middle of the nation, stuff like that. I don't really care about that as much. Okay, so that's the first step. I didn't even look at what else we might want to deploy. Certainly any of our rangers that are left we'd want to deploy, but it looks like there's not that many left, or none. And the next thing I want to do is, I'm not going to deploy these M2A1s. I'm still not sure that we're going to be using them. I'm going to actually keep them as a reserve unit to sell to other countries, because I would at least consider them better to sell to other countries than to use ourselves. Again, that's short in range, and any artillery is very cost prohibitive on resources, supply. Military goods, basically it blows through this, like you see this 50 right here. That's how much military goods or military supply, I think they're military goods, are used up by the time that their fighting time is done. So this Fletcher can go 25 hours or attacks. I don't know what it is actually, if it's hours or attacks. I think it's attacks before it depletes its full supply, which is good because this is a ship. You don't want it to run out of supply very quickly. They're not very easy to resupply. You're expecting ships to be out of supply for a lot of their active duty, patrols and all that. So the typical artillery one only has a value of 4. Yeah, as we see this one does. It's a lot lower, and that means they run out of supply really quick, which means they eat supply up really quick, because that means they go through 36 after only 4 attacks, which is pretty quick. I'll just keep saying it, that's pretty quick. Anyways, let's get some anti-aircraft over here as well. We'll just keep deploying a lot of this stuff. And last but not least, I do want some more supply trucks as well. Lots of stuff got to come over here. Okay, good. So that's the first thing. I want to deploy some of those things. The aircraft not as important to deploy or not, as they deploy very quickly, basically. But I think we'll at least set... Is this active duty? This is reserve, yeah. So we'll at least set the peacemakers, at least another group of 7 to active duty. 5, 6, 7. I believe that's 7. Let's set these guys to active duty here. Why not? So we're going to get those guys to march out. At least have them as a backup. And somebody, I think, Euler, 05, the cheery, upbeat spirit he always posts in. A little sarcasm there. He was asking what happened in Israel. So let's look. Let's actually keep this as the background, the screensaver of anything that I'm talking about. When We're going to try to go actually at maximum speed this time as well. So it looks like Belgium is allowed through, France is allowed through. I know Great Britain was not allowed through. I hope that Israel and the UK can come to some kind of understanding. We can probably deploy some of these Delta Darts as well. Just thinking about that. Now this Twin Mustang we'll definitely be selling off. I don't want to scrap it. It's still valuable. I might even keep it around for a while, but let's deploy some more Delta Darts. I usually deploy these in only groups of 4, so not nearly as big of groups. We'll get one group of 4 like up here, and I might deploy another group of 4 over to the East Coast, because it's very possible that we'll need these on the East Coast. So we'll get them over there, and as I said, we'll continue to try to let... Yeah, and Euler I think was also asking, or saying that I made such a big deal about these aircraft being here, but then I didn't use them. So yeah, these aircraft are here in an emergency situation. I suspect, and it appears to be the case, that Israel's just kind of rolling over Egypt. What happens is sometimes there's so many garrisons in these cities that they kind of stall. They even have help from a lot of allies right now. You can see Belgium and France are both fighting for Israel. Boy, I mean, I really wish we could put pressure. Oh, that Polish ship is not likely going to make it. Nope. Ah, she might get out. No, she turned back when she was, 80% the way through the gauntlet. And it looks like she's still going to make it out anyway. Well, that's good. We got a lot of offers coming in. Let's just go ahead and accept a lot of these. That's a terrible offer, but okay, fine. It wasn't worth enough money for me to gripe over it. They want to give us petroleum for quite a good rate. Yes, absolutely. And Ireland also wants to give us petroleum, not at such a good rate, but that's fine. Once again, the Polish forces are breaking through here. You can see that it's... I mean, the good news is if British forces try to go through, they'll probably also break through. Oh, West Germany made it through, or East Germany made it through. Not ideal. We also don't want Yugoslavia making it through, but I'm sure that they will. And this is what happens, basically. You can see Israel's forces have all just been depleted suddenly. Oh, good. Saarland and West Germany moved. Okay, so Saarland ceases to exist now, which means that essentially Europe likes us more, because one less country... Saarland did not like us. I don't know what their leanings are. Oh, you can see Egypt is now leaning towards Warsaw Pact, even though they weren't before. That's kind of interesting. So we will definitely support them with bombings if Warsaw Pact forces begin to join the front. I don't know what happened to Israel. Did they actually lose all their forces? I know that it's pretty tough for them to get going against the quagmire of different cities here that all have a lot of garrisons. Those garrisons still pack a punch. So it appears to have stalled the Israeli armed forces. So you know what we can do is we can sell Israel. They have not any money at all to buy. Never mind. I was going to say we can sell them some of our artillery. You know what? We can just give them some because they're a good friend. And this artillery is just kind of stacking up, and I don't really know what we're going to do with it anyway. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Artillery is pretty good against the garrisons so long as it stays in the back, which I don't think this one is long distance enough to be able to do. So anyway, we'll just give it to them for free. What was that, 6 million? Not a lot. So no on this. 30.4 is pretty low. Well, Spain likes us again. So, never mind. Egypt is eliminated. And just like that, we didn't need to lift a finger. Didn't need to get our bombers involved. I mean, as you could see, Egypt was being driven into the Warsaw Pact. I didn't want to antagonize anyone as the U.S. I want to keep relations as positive as possible with as many people as I can. So there we go. Now, I guess at some point England made a little push in the south, so they have these little pockets of territory, which is annoying. But it's not so bad. I've seen it a lot worse than just this. I've seen it where they take gouges or whatever. But so that war is over really quickly. And Germany is still providing me with industrial goods. So that's it. And the reason why I'm leaving my bombers here, this may not be the last conflict which takes place. So we might as well keep some of our peacemakers in the area. How are things going over here? Looks like things are pretty quiet. My goodness. There's no forces at all. And I guess we didn't need to give Israel those forces after all. But probably it cost them a lot of money to conduct that whole war. Oh, okay, so now... Yeah, it's the garrisons which are really holding things down. Really holding things together. Excuse me. Yeah, I probably should take a look at what's going to go on here. So this is modern aircraft fuselage. It'll be done in 5 days. Okay, so we have 5 days of time. A lot of these things look really good. Okay, first of all, the F-111A does upgrade to the F-111. I forget what the upgrade is. The B? The G? Who knows? But it is extremely fast. Oh, look at the F-4C, but that's a tactical bomber. It's actually not that great. There's a lot of things here that we'll be interested in getting, though. I mean, even just long into the future, getting the Draken Recon? That's Northern Europe. Ah, the F-3A Lightning is UK. Got it. No, the Freedom Fighter is ours. Not that good, though. The F-4C is not that good either. It's actually pretty good for heart attack. I think it probably has... Oh, yeah, it says right there, 17 air attack at 44 kilometers. That's pretty good, especially for a tactical bomber. A6 Intruder. Well, that's carrier capable. It's got that little nose mount for refuel. Mid-air refuel. Ah, very iconic, I would say. Not so good at the air-to-air defense, though, at 11. I wonder what it's... I mean, one of the things we have to keep in mind is what is its air defense, which is more important, really. It's not about killing things, it's about keeping them alive. Alright, so this is done, and this Air Force production should be queued right away. Aha! So some things are... Trying to jump in front of it. We'll put air production 65 first, and then we can queue those other things back up. So good, we got that. I also want to take a look at what do we have completed here. Supplies, depots, good. We'll take more, sure. Just trying to be positive. The thing I'm trying to get up here is world market opinion is delighted. Our subsidy rating is only 7.4, which does not really reflect the fact the world market is really positive. But our treaty integrity is up. I mean, lots of good things. Really the only thing we can do, I think, which would even further help the public opinion in the US, is to get our own approval rating up. I don't know all the mechanics. A lot of what I'm relying on here is things I've heard from over time. And at some point, somebody mentioned that, yes, your own approval rating plays a part in what other people think of you. And I think a lot of it is also, you know, in this, it's the civilian rating, which is not always easy to get up. Like, who are we having problems with? Was it like Nepal? Oh yeah, Pakistan. So Pakistan, the people absolutely hate us. And you can see that the problem is still the same way with Nepal. Now, do we need to continue supporting the government? No, we actually don't. We don't need to continue supporting Nepal. I'm actually going to pull their money because they're a monarchy. We just wanted some ties. Essentially what I'm preparing for is if Nepal ends up being on the receiving end of a declaration of war, now that declaration of war also applies to us. Not as in they declare war on us, but we have the opportunity to declare war on them. In fact, we're beholden to declare war. Should somebody declare war on any of the people who we have mutual defense with, that same treaty rating which I was praising a moment ago will greatly suffer if we do not essentially live up to our own word. Okay, 2.8, we're down to 2.8 because of all the construction stuff. There is a concerted push back here, but it's been that way for a while. We know the general trend. Like, there's a lot of noise back and forth, but the time average of progress in this war is a strong southerly tilt. Strong southerly push. Just a matter of time, I would say. So, and then hopefully on the way back, Israel, yeah, I mean, good. They're in a good place. They're in a good situation to destroy any non-Israel aligned ships, which should be any Warsaw Pact ships. I still haven't heard from the developer. I haven't heard back from the developer who said he'd take a look at this. I might send like a follow-up message just to see how things are going. Because it would be great if we could. I mean, by the time they gets back to me with an answer, in this game at least, it may not matter. We're already up to 2,700. Another thing I wanted to see is how many million of men have people lost, and how many people. What's the staff rating? So you can see the United States is actually lower than the UK or France in terms of total army staff. This is active duty, so just mind that. This is active duty. We're not. France is officially at war, so I can understand that. UK is now not officially at war, I think. So they still have a lot of active bodies, but they really do. I mean, they have so many active ships. It's just, oh man, they just have so much active on their island. I would not play the UK that way if I were them, but I'm not them, so it's their judgment call. Oh yeah, so we have all these military goods going over, military things going over to here. Where do we want to deploy these? I kind of suspect we want to put all this stuff into Korea. Yeah. Well, we can stage it in Japan for now if we want. I don't think that's a good idea. It's just so... we've got to deploy it, right? Could deploy it here. There's a lot of Turkish infantry still there, which will be awkward if Turkey's government is overthrown. And I think at some point they are. If this goes according to history. Hong Kong, I think traditionally or in the past, in previous playthroughs of this, I've used Hong Kong as an entry point, kind of distract. It's usually like all the Chinese forces swarm to this area, so you can just kind of dig in. But it's a little bit cheesy. I try not to use this too much or abuse this. That you can just very easily step back into the British territory and you're untouchable. I mean, it'd be weird. Obviously, in real life, China would be like, okay, you're harboring our enemies. We are going to invade your territory and just take them out, or something to that effect. The supply is going to be miserable no matter where we try to land. And what the hell is going on here? Huh. I don't know. I don't want to know. Let's just move along. I think I'll just move them here for now. I didn't want to put them there. They're going to stack up really funny, but it gets them across the sea at least. And somebody also reminded me that the Iran-Iraq war, the U.S. supported Iraq. Even though Iraq was ended up using, at least for air assets, I can't remember the exact models they were using, but basically the Warsaw Pact type stuff. Su-27s, Su-22s, I don't remember what exact stuff they were using, like floggers. And Iran was using NATO stuff, like F-4s and I think even F-15s. Maybe some of the original F-15s. But it may not have been F-15s. I can't remember anymore. One of the things I haven't really done is take a look off camera, like all these ships everywhere. I don't know where they belong. I'll probably need to get to that at some point. These are obviously repairs. This is, I think, I tasked them to meet up there, but I don't remember why. And everyone here should be repaired because we did at least go through and make sure that we sent anybody who wasn't repairing home. Yeah, this all looks good. Alright, suppress is too high. We're going through this cycle again. Spain. Okay, so what's our relationship with Spain from a civilian standpoint? Yeah, the US really hates the citizens of Spain. And even our diplomatic relation with them is poor. Which is weird because I am my own diplomacy. You would think that I would be able to control my diplomacy, what I think of other people. I mean, I guess it's a democracy, so that's not necessarily true. Is this a supply truck? I don't know why a supply truck is trying to push the front. But they've been holding at this road for a while. So maybe there is hope. Although, yeah, for me it's not a good thing. I want them to fall. And another thing, I need to be making sure that reactive armor's up in how long? Let's just make sure I don't lose this one. 1 day. Holy cow. Oh, but reactive armor itself does not lead to anything? I forgot about that. Did spaced armor lead? Oh, wow. No, reactive armor does lead to some stuff. Yeah, that's what I thought. Actually, some pretty good stuff. Let's see exactly what here? Nothing. Okay, well, we'll put the M113 on our list of things we need to research. We need to get tank tech immediately. It's available, so we will once again not queue. What is it that I had ready to go? Was it fiber optic? No, I think it was synthetic rubber is going to wait yet again. Another technology. Kind of makes me feel. It makes me feel like we should get one more research center. 13 is already quite a lot, but in order to really cross all our T's, dot all of our I's, maybe we do need one more research center. It is kind of a lot, though. 13 is usually enough. But then at the same time, I haven't, previous to this playthrough, I've never sat and actually tried to order every different possibility, every different design that can, especially if it leads to an upgrade. Okay, so this is kind of good to see. That the Polish are coming to finish this push. Again, when this all happens, maybe off camera I can force a peace with France and China just to stop this needless loss of life. And they were at 26 something, they're at 2697 now, so we'll know if they tick over to 2700 how many people they're still destroying. And maybe, at least at the very, it would be really nice if at the very least, why are they destroying Spanish forces? Well, that's stupid, but nothing I can do about it. At least destroy those eastern, the Yugoslavian, destroy those, absolutely. I guess just more often than not they'll be killing things we want them to kill than not doing that, but definitely killing things we don't want them to kill as well. Kill that one. And what do we want to do on the diplomatic front? Yeah, so is it worth it to continue to improve relationships with Spain to try to get our civilian and diplomatic rating up? I don't know. I guess it doesn't matter too much, since they won't ever accept an alliance. Kind of like Sweden in that aspect. I've had Austria sign an alliance with me before. Maybe it wasn't an alliance, maybe it was just a mutual defense pact, but they were friendly. Yeah, not this time. But for good reason. They're aligning towards Warsaw Pact. Why entangle yourself unnecessarily into two groups? Makes things worse, really. Alright, well, down to one war, at least. Trying to speed this up, too, so we can get as far as we can. What was the next one after? So parallel computing concepts is going to lead to... Okay, that one we also need to immediately allow to queue. And then commercial computers also needs to queue. Oh wow, it won't be able to. Okay, so that's good to know. Eventually we're going to get new technology in there. That's close enough. It was 184 to 192. So we lose like 8 million on that. Yep. Go ahead, Iran. Just rip us off, but it's such a low value, it's fine. We lose 5 million on that. 5 million is just not much to write home about. Alright, what else do I want to do in this episode? Military, we got it. That was the primary thing I wanted to do. Okay, this is a supply truck and AA. I think I'm going to send these guys to the south. Let's send them... Wow, they only have one... Okay, well, I'll send them to Taiwan. What was that? That was... parallel computing. So that we should have the exact one left. Yep, already changed, I guess. Where is it? Wait, did I not queue it? Oh, applied programming. It's already in there. Yeah. So what's the next one? Commercial computers, microprocessors won't be able to be done. Okay, so now we can finally queue up synthetic rubber. After a long, long wait. I am feeling like getting another research center so we can just go through everything. We can't deactivate it or even scrap it later. Okay, let's do it. We have the money, not a big deal. And they put it there. Okay, fine. Maybe we'll just add one more supply depot here. Just to, you know, to make sure this area is fully in supply, and I think it will be. Let's get all the engineers up there, help build it. And that should be enough. Oh, we got our rangers here. Alright, well this set of rangers also gonna cross the ocean. Yeah, I was thinking about getting rid of the rangers. I think I just shipped them all across. Do I want to get rid of the rangers or not? Alright, anybody with experience we definitely don't want to get rid of. But a lot of these guys are not going to have experience. Okay. Let's do that trick real fast for sorting. You. There you go. On this type. Good. So let's get you guys to sea transport. I guess to here. Yeah, we moved in M103s all over here, but I think we're gonna need more units. Oh, good. Israel's getting into the act. Togoland has surrendered. That's just a whole independence declaring thing. That's all fine. I didn't even see my domestic approval. I don't want to see it. It's too low. Just not sure about supporting the Spanish. For some reason, my people don't like them. I don't think that's... Well, maybe it was the mentality after Franco. Yeah. So we're not even after Franco yet, of course. Oh, good. Okay, so this is it. This is the big the final event. And I suppose French Cambodia is also will actually be a target as well. Not sure what's going on. But we're on max speed at least, so things should happen pretty quickly. Yeah, it's kind of funny. The world is divided, but it's kind of divided in a way I'm okay with. Ooh, Iran is actually our friend. I didn't know that. What? Actually, I think I did know that. I mean, it's kind of like this thing where they hate Iraq, so they'll go to whatever Iraq's enemy is. Good deal. Good deal. Okay. 2.8. That's the main reason why I try to increase the population with the family subsidy and all that. Because you're just going to run into huge labor problems. And various people have various ways of dealing with it. I've seen a lot of people who will just end up conquering third world countries. Because that way they can... they just get an immediate labor supply. So we're fully, we have every agreement with Philippines, which includes like the free flow of labor. But I don't think that, I think that's not even modeled in the game. Pretty sure it's not. Oh, big old battle going on. Well, sure. No. It's the only thing I don't want to do is just give away tons of military supply for like nothing. Just gonna leave that there because I think we already settled the agreement. French forces are cut off. It's just not their game. This submarine's freaking out. Sometimes just a nice save, restart. When they load up, they like choose new AI. I mean, not that it's new AI. They just, I don't know. It can sometimes just unstuck them, help them get unstuck. This guy's definitely stuck. Poor Japan. Anyways, 33 minutes. Wow, I'm surprised that actually it's been that long already. Time flies when you're having fun. Oh, we are supporting Ethiopia. Don't care. And 30.2. Boy, that is on a negative trend. I did cut some spending. I'm not sure if that goes any higher than 195. Let's see, 124. Does it drop below 109.5? I don't think so. We'll find out in a moment. Infrastructure did drop when I lowered it. It's still pretty darn high, but... yeah, family subsidy is one I just don't want to really compromise on. I love the fact that when I look at our nation right now, we're one of the top in the world in terms of birth rate. And not just birth rate, but our birth rate per person. I mean, our number of births per person is pretty high. So with a population of 192, we're gaining about 2 million in immigration and 4.7. Yeah, so 6.7 million. So let's just call it 7 out of 192. It's like a 3% growth rate, which is pretty crazy. It's very good. And we check the other two giants. They are not getting that, I'm pretty sure. 3%. 3% of 4 million would be, 400 million would be about 9 million, about 10 million, let's call it. Are they at 10? They might be. I've seen some high numbers. So 2, we'll just forget about the immigration. 2, and then 6.5. Well, I guess the 5 immigration cancels out the 5, the extra births, so we'll just call it 6. So they're at 2 and 6. 2 and 6, that's 8. Yeah, so 8. They're not quite at 10, but they're not too far from it. Commercial computers, does this get at last, I believe, synthetic rubber into the research queue? We only have to wait a little bit longer now. We're just waiting for the 14th research station to come online. That already get picked up. Yep, synthetic rubber 2. It'll be done in 90 days, not that long. And ICBM goes on to missile launch right away. Okay, so we don't need to queue up another one. And that's it. Peaceful. Peaceful neighborhood. French territory is slowly falling. Another 60 units dying to the Russian trap. Just want to get as far as we can. 2.8%. So maybe I did overbuild at some point. It might be better just to let that come all the way up to 3.4, 3.3 before I do anything. Well, at least 3. I just don't want to have this this notification all the time. Yeah, that's a good one. It's kind of good to be behind on something because you got to accept all these deals. And they end up being good ones, but even if they weren't, just accepting the deal is a good thing, I think. Oh, Vietnam holding on. That is a lot of forces, though. I don't think they're going to hold on for long. So I should look up this Common Engineer and just get an exact counter to it, which would just destroy everything. The one thing I wonder is it considered a hard unit or it's considered a soft unit, I think. Yeah, pretty sure. Austria, well, it's actually a really good deal. Also a good deal. Also a really good deal. But it's Israel. We expect that. Got distracted there. Thinking about daydreaming. Ethiopia. I don't know. Let's see what kind of stuff they're showing. They really don't like us. They're also leaning towards the Warsaw Pact, which means that I don't think these guys are any longer... Well, shoot, it's hard to say. This would be a wonderful country to... Wait, no, forget it. Israel? We're allied with West Germany, right? I know sounds like a funny question because we've probably been allied with them for a long time, but you don't start... West Germany doesn't start like in NATO, so they're not allies right now with any of the NATO countries. Or, I mean, they weren't at game start, but by now they've probably made a few allies. I'm sure I've even read them on camera, but I just don't remember. And Saudi Arabia, I think this is a good call to make these guys our friends. we're going to have a real presence in the Middle East, thanks to Israel, predominantly, but also thanks to Saudi Arabia, as kind of like a backup. Just don't tell them we said that. Don't really understand how the AI does its distribution of forces. It's not easy, I'm sure. Vietnamese are slowly falling. I guess what I could do is... Let's see. Could set it on auto accept. I don't think we need to. It's fine, I can take a look at it. But you can actually, I mean, if I pull the next one I get, the next trade offer, I'll pull it up and I'll show you that you can just auto accept if the deal is positive for you, which means that if they're offering more than they're requesting, you will automatically accept it. But it's not a big deal. It's not like it's taking up a super long amount of our time. So, auto accept. It says auto accept for this region only. I wonder if this is to auto accept everything. The previous version I saw of that was auto accept if it's a good deal. 2.9, just like that. Very good. Very good. Well, I think we're going to make it, call this nearly the end of the episode. I guess the one thing I can do is, I think off camera I'm going to make a decision about the Rangers. Let's get the artillery into position now. Get some of these guys up here just right away. Just so we have less clutter over there. We're going to need our navy over here as well. That's what I forgot about. This one I probably should auto accept. West Germany's a good enough friend, and I think they'll remain that way. We don't have to worry about them trying to sneak over a bad deal on us. Okay, but yeah, let me just go ahead and wrap this video up here. It looks like probably by next turn this will be done. Oh yeah, but the French are now sending in a ton of supplies to Kampong Saum. They don't want to lose it. But anyways, I'm losing it, so we'll pause this video, call it to a close here. Let's see what kind of technology. Oh, I guess the one thing... Let's see, how's that? How many days? 11 more days. How many more days, I wonder, on our research center? That's the exciting news. So it says 390, but let's see how much it jumps in a day. Just to get an average of how many days it actually needs. Here we go, 2, 1, 390 will drop 2. Okay, by 3. So if it drops by 3, then it's going to need like 130 days. So it'll still take quite a while, but we'll wait. Okay, well, thanks for watching. Again, if you... I don't know, I've always thought about just putting these edits in. In my opinion, I'm just trying to get as far as I can in each episode, so we're at... Oh, I could have gone up to actual max speed, but sometimes I feel like with the war, if war is going on, max speed and second fastest are really identical because you bog down so much so quickly on the fastest setting. Anyway, domestic price is too high. Domestic approval 29.8. For the first time, we're below 30%. That's not a good landmark to reach. I'll have to think about how to combat that, but I'll do that off camera. So for now, thanks for watching, and until the next video, take care.